Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 68th FlossTube video. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, liked my channel. As always, links are listed in the description section. At the bottom, there's a blurb, tells about the video, and then at the bottom, there's links to let's see, my email, Dawn at morninggloryneedleworks.com, my Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, Etsy shop, buy me a coffee, Instagram, all that good stuff. I also break my videos into chapters. So if there's a part you want to watch again, you just go to the section that says chapters, click on the timestamp, and it will take you directly to that section. So it's the 18th, not the 15th of October. So I'm going to get started as usual with my little life update. This has been an exciting time again. I'm late, but I have a good reason. I'm sure you heard about Hurricane Milton, which pretty much came really close to being right over top of us. I went just south of where I live. I'm close to St. Petersburg. I'm in the St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay area. So I've lived here in Florida since 1989. I've never evacuated. This where I live, I did not have to evacuate. I'm in a zone E, which is the last zone that would have to evacuate. They evacuated A, B, and C, I think. And I could have stayed. I'm in my condo. I'm on the third floor. I didn't have to worry about flooding. But with the winds and everything, I was kind of worried about something coming in through the window or the roof leaking or something like that. So, and it was supposed to be as high as a category 4 when it made landfall. Now that's pretty hot fast. I've been through a 3 before, not necessarily a direct hit, but on the bad side of the hurricane. So, my wonderful friend Sue Donnelly, who lives in northern Florida, usually about 3 hours and 30 minutes north of me. She offered to let me and my 3 cats come stay with her. So that was a really generous offer because Sue is allergic to cats and I have 3. So I had a hard time deciding. I didn't want to leave because like I said, I've never evacuated before. I talked to several other people in the condo building I'm in, my next door neighbor, and a few other people, and most of them were staying. They were making preps as they could. Being on the third floor, this is the back of my condo, and it's all windows. They are old windows, they are original windows to this condo, which was built in 1967. Then there's windows on the front. So I have a condo on either side of me. I don't have any side windows. So I was kind of worried. These are the old, they're called jealousy windows. It's like there's 2 windows and you actually there's 3 or 4 because they're tall, but you turn a crank and they open out that way. Um, but they're pretty solid. And I was more worried about, I don't know, a tree or something hitting the back, branches, whatever. Um, and maybe some leaking. I didn't know. I did fine with Helene, excuse me, Helene. We never lost power. Everything, it was okay. It was just really windy and rainy, and I was okay. Power flickered a few times, but I had no water intrusion or anything. So, but when the storm stayed really strong and they said it was going to be at least a 3, maybe a 4 when it made landfall, I decided, okay, I'm going to evacuate, I didn't even know what to do because I've never evacuated before. I mean, I have plenty of food here, I have plenty of water, um, food for like food you can just eat without having to heat up or anything. So it was hard. It was hard to go because packing up the three cats is very challenging. They do not like to travel. And so anyway, I just decided, okay, I'm gonna go. Traffic was horrific. Like the day before, the main highways were at a standstill. So I decided to leave really, really early in the morning. So of course, I tried to go to bed early. That didn't work because I was all packed up, ready to go. I had the cat carriers out. I had to go buy a new cat carrier, which were really hard to find because everybody is evacuating. Anyway, I only had two cat carriers and I have three cats, and I can't fit two of them in one because they're big fat kitties. And anyway, long story on that, but I won't go into it. So I packed everything up. I just didn't even know what to bring. I thought I'd only be there a couple of nights, but I went ahead and brought like, five shirts, enough clothes probably for a week, clean underwear, all that stuff. I mean, they have washer and dryer. So I decided I was going to leave like really early, like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, really early. Yeah, no. So I set my alarm for 4, but of course I'd gotten hardly any sleep the night before because I couldn't sleep. So I I got up at 4:30 and then or 4 o'clock. My alarm went off. I set it for another half an hour. And then, gradually I got out of bed and got everything around. And I was loading up the car around 6. So it was a long process. And so I loaded up the car, which took like 3 trips. Luckily, we have an elevator. I had my big wagon and just bringing stuff down because I had to bring a litter box. I had to bring litter. I had to bring cat food, all that stuff. Snacks to eat on the way, my suitcase, and the three cat carriers took up the whole back seat of my car. I have an SUV, but the three cat carriers, you can't put anything in the back seat. So it was pretty full. And plus, I brought a cooler because I'm on medication that needs to be refrigerated. So I have a real nice, it's styrofoam, but it's a really, really good styrofoam cooler. It's not very big. And I put my ice pack and my meds in there and packed up the car, got the cats down. They went last, put them in the car, got in it to drive away, and Elphaba had pooped because they're upset. They're scared. So it's not the first time this has happened. Mama used to do it all the time, but now she travels more because she goes to the vet a lot. Anyway, so I was still in our parking lot. So I cleaned that up, and then I left, and I got maybe half a mile away, and Buster pooped bad. So I had to stop in a parking lot and clean him up, and it was bad. It took me a while to clean everything up, and then I had to go find somewhere with a wastebasket to throw away. Luckily, I brought paper towels and stuff to clean things up because I've been through this before. I've traveled with cats before. Anyway, so they were all in their crates and they were covered. I put a towel over them because it helps. Bustfur goes crazy. I mean, he will try and dig his way out and just, I mean, rip his claws off. So I found if I put towel over them or blanket or something, they can't see they're okay. Kind of like a bird, you cover them up. So anyway, I headed out. Finally, after all that, I seriously considered coming back home just because it was so much and I was hot and tired and hadn't slept much. So I decided to go ahead, just keep going. So I took a different way up. Most people take I-75 north or I-4 across the state or I-75 north. Those are the really busy roads. I took a different way because of where she's located. She's in the Panhandle, more off to the west. So, and I-75 kind of goes up the middle of the state. So I went up the Veterans Expressway to the Suncoast Parkway. And then after the parkway ends, you just take like 19 and then all these little roads, US 19. So luckily they had DeSantis shut down the tolls. So you didn't have to pay tolls because the Veterans and the Suncoast are both toll roads. I have a Sun Pass that I put on the dash and it automatically pays all the tolls. You don't have to stop for tolls. Anyway, so that saved me like $7.50 because I didn't have to stop for tolls. Anyway, I got up there and I was surprised. It only took me about 4 hours, I think, to get up there. So I think I left about 6:30, and with the shot stops and stuff, it was probably around 11 when I got up there. So it wasn't too bad. I was surprised, happily surprised. The road, it was busy, but it wasn't crazy. That's actually the busiest I've ever seen the Suncoast because it's not as busy as the other roads. But I mean, it was cars, but they weren't bumper to bumper. We were going the speed limit or more the whole time. So anyway, I got up to Sue's and the kitties got the kitties out, unloaded the car, all that good stuff, got the kitties set up. And Sue, they actually just bought that house in the last year or so. And so they weren't set up for guests yet. So they had a nice big couch. So I slept on the couch and I let the kitties out. And of course, they behind the furniture. I made sure they all knew where the litter box was, but they all were like behind the couch and under chairs, and Buster hid in a closet and scared Sue to death when she went in there one time and lifted something up and there was this kitty sitting there with those big eyes. But anyway, he they did good. Alphaba and Buster or Alphaba and Mama. Mama was out like right away because she's kind of used to people now. Alphaba was out within a few hours. She wasn't really, she was kind of staying away, kind of from everybody but me, of course. But they did good. They did pretty good. Buster would only come out at night the first couple of nights until they went to bed, maybe like 3 nights. I was there a long time. Unfortunately, when the storm hit, Milton, it did knock out power to the condos. Some people in our building had partial power in their condo. I don't know how that works, but I know my neighbor, her kitchen was working, but the rest of her condo wasn't. So I was hoping that's how my condo was going to be because maybe my refrigerator would be on because it was full of food. I had just bought groceries a few days stuff for the freezer and my freezer was full. Anyway, so I ended up staying at Sue's. I got there on Tuesday and I did not leave until the next Tuesday. I planned on staying just a couple nights. Another thing happened. Now they were very good. The condo association, they had tree guys here for days before, cutting down branches and trimming up trees and making sure there was no loose branches that could come down and all that. Well, during the storm, a huge tree, it's behind my condo, but over. It's off to the side. It couldn't have hit me unless it like flew through the air. So it couldn't have hit my condo, but that tree went down. That was one of the trees they trimmed. This is a big tree. I mean, it's taller than our 3-story condo. It's a big tree. But the bad thing was there's condos, we're on like one lot with condos, and then there's another section, and we're all connected across the street, kind of kitty corner across the street. Well, their condos, a tree came down and ripped up the water main. So they had to shut the water off. So none of the condos had any water. And because of course, once the storm settled down, I knew we didn't have electricity and I knew it was bad. I knew it was going to be a while. So I am very glad I left. I mean, I got home, there's nothing wrong with my condo. I had no water intrusion. Now, my neighbor did. Water came in under her door just from the force of the winds. My doors were newer. We have on the front of the condo, I have 2 doors because you have to have 2 exits and there's no way to get out the back. And there was no way to cover these windows because I'm on the 3rd floor from the outside. Anyway, I was lucky. When I finally got home, it took them a long time. It took them, like I said, I think it was like six days and the power and water came on the same day. The problem with the water was the pipes are old, so the new pipes didn't fit it. So they couldn't fix it. So the condo place was really nice. Um, anyway, there's a water line outside, so they figured out how to put a spigot on it so people could fill up buckets and carry them up to use them to flush their toilet because when you don't have water, you can't flush your toilet. And I wasn't here, so I couldn't have filled up my tub anyway. Um, and I mean, a 5 gallon bucket of water is really heavy. And they were actually delivering buckets of water to people's condos. It was great. I mean, the whole condo kind of came together. They have a Facebook group, and that's how I was finding out what was going on. But they finally got the water fixed. I think it was Monday, actually. I left on the Tuesday before and came home the next Monday. And and luckily the electricity, our energy company, they have to work their way through the whole county because pretty much nobody had electricity. So it took them a while to get to us. But the water, I think the electric came on first and then the water came on. They got the water fixed right after that. And it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I said, I'm going home. I'm going to go home. Sue and her husband had gone out to buy groceries. And when they got back, my car was packed. I had to catch all the kitties and get Buster out from behind the couch, pull the couch out. Anyway, I loaded up the car and the kitties did much better on the way home. I did not have to stop. There was no poop. There wasn't as much howling because they had just done this. So, I mean, they meowed for a while, but it wasn't bad. And then every once in a while, one of them would wake up and start meowing. And then kind of like down the road, the next one would. But the ride home was much easier on them and me because it's bad when they're all screaming back there. But anyway, I got home about 7:15 um, on Monday, and I kind of just unloaded the cats. I checked out the condo. Like I said, I did not see any problems anywhere. I've kind of looked everywhere where it could have leaked. Um, and I unloaded the cats, brought everything up. Like I said, it took like 3 trips to bring everything back up again. And uh, I just relaxed. I did go look at the fridge and it had definitely been off for all that time. So I just closed the doors and went, it can wait another day. So the next day I threw out, I think it was 4 garbage bags full. I mean, you're talking everything, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. My milk was like a solid lump in the container. It was really disgusting. Plus, I had just bought meat and all this stuff, and it had, by the next day, it had refrozen, but it was still. And then, of course, because it melted, I had popsicles in there and these fruit bars and my Haagen-Dazs. No, it was Ben and Jerry's. My Ben and Jerry's melted. And so I had to clean everything out. I emptied the fridge out, took all that down. I had to scrub out the inside of the fridge and clean out everything out of the freezer that had melted and all that good stuff. So that wasn't fun. I don't want to do it again. I'm hoping that's it. Hurricane season doesn't end until the end of November, but I'm hoping and it actually cooled down. So I'm hoping maybe this cooler weather will cool the Gulf off. I mean, it was down to, I think, 51 the other day. And you guys up north may laugh, but that's pretty cool here for October. That's almost a record. It was it was wonderful. I loved it. It was when I finally leave the house, it's like about 60 something. I'm going, do I need a jacket? I don't know. It was a 69, I think. But I thought, no, I can handle this cold temperature. So I had to go out and buy $200 worth of groceries. Luckily, I got good sales on a lot of stuff. And actually, I go to Winn-Dixie and they have this reward program and all that. Anyway, I got over $200 worth of groceries for about $135. So I had a lot of good coupons and buy one, get one stuff. Anyway, so when I was up with Sue, we talked a lot. It was good. I hadn't seen her in so long. She's been so wonderful. I've known her for, I don't even know, 20 years. She used to run Stitcher's Hideaway, and that's how I met her. She had retreats down here, and her husband was so sweet, and he cooked every meal for us. And oh my God, it was like being pampered. The only thing I had to do was clean up after the kitties and feed them and all that good stuff. And we went to this little fall festival where they had little handmade items and local honey and just all sorts of fun stuff. So it was kind of a nice vacation, but I was really worried about my house. I just wanted to get home. But and they told me I could stay as long as I wanted. But it's like as soon as I was thinking about going the next day, it's like, no, I just want to go home. So it was so nice to sleep in my own bed again. The cats were so confused because I was sleeping on the couch. So I had cats all over me because they're used to sleeping with me. Anyway, it was a wonderful time. We did a little bit of stitching. I'll talk about what I was working on in a minute. So it was good. My neighbor said, she's right next to me, and I don't know how old she is, maybe the same age as me, because it's a 55 plus community. I know I don't look it, but I am over 55. And she said it was horrible. She was scared to death. Her windows did leak and her door, but her and her cat were there alone. I mean, there was other neighbors, so you could go to the neighbors if something happened, but she said she didn't think she would ever do it again, to sit through one that bad. They usually don't come up this way. It seems like they head this way toward Tampa Bay, and then they either go south or they go north. Well, it went a little south, but not very far south. So anyway, there was still a lot of flooding and horrible damage. I consider myself very lucky. I am very lucky that the only thing I lost was food, and that I have friends that lost 4 cars, that lost their homes, that lost everything. So I'm I'm not complaining. I mean, if that's the only thing I lost, I'm good. I'm good with that. And I had somewhere safe to go. And it's funny because they were so far north. I did a screenshot on my phone of the storm as it made landfall. And the storm is like this wide, and they are like right up here, just right on the edge of where the storm was coming. We had just some light rain and a little bit of wind. I thought for sure we were going to get more than that, but it didn't. It didn't turn to go north when they thought it would. Anyway, so that's my new hurricane saga. I had one of those in the last one too. So I didn't get home till like the 15th, and I just was busy. That's why I'm late. I was doing the refrigerator, doing buying groceries, sorting through stuff, putting stuff away. And then I kind of lost track of time at that point. I didn't even know what day it was. And then all of a sudden I'm going, oh, I guess I better do my video. So anyway, that is my long hurricane saga. I'm hoping I don't have another one of those next time because I may consider moving back up north. So now I'm going to talk about a WIP, a work in progress that I have. I don't buy a lot of designs. I've talked about this. I buy stuff that really speaks to me or looks like fun, something different. And it's kind of nice because I can stitch them, and other than choosing colors or whatever, not have to worry about, is this color going to work? Do I have to change this? I need to change the stitch. It's just something I can just stitch on. And this one is all one color. I did have a hard time deciding what color because I did not have enough of the color I wanted. And it's a big project, even though it's stitched with one strand. I did not want to run out of thread and try and match dye lots, especially because I'm using a thread that's been discontinued. So there. So this was a stitch along. I saw it on Facebook. It's from the Steady Thread, and it was the 2024 Halloween stitch along, SAL stitch along. It's called Spooky Shelves, and you got a section each week for like 6 weeks. So she is finally, because the last section has come out, she has released the entire pattern. I can't remember how much it was. It's like, I don't know, $13, $14. It's not bad. So I have a picture. This I am nowhere near finished because I started really late, but this is the finished piece and it's all done in black work or you can do it in back stitch. However you want to do it, you can do it all in one color. There's a whole group of people that are doing this on Facebook, and some of them, they're beautiful. They're doing them in all different colors and different colors for different sections. I just wanted to not have to think about it. So, I mean, it took me a while to decide what color, and I had this perfect witchy bag here. This is Gayron bags um, that someone had given me. And I had this wonderful fabric, which I love. I'll have to see if I can find out what fabric this is. But I just love this. I don't know how good it's going to show on the screen, but it's like a blue and purple and kind of pinkish magenta-y. And then there, this is right side up. So this is what I have done. This is, you can see it's got a lot of stitches. I mean, this is very dense, and you can see that's the entire border. I only did one of those to get me placed, the one up in the upper left corner, because I figure I'm going to do everything in the center. And if I don't have enough thread, I could do the outline in black or a different color. I actually wanted to do it in this. This is a really dark purple. This is royal purple from Gentle Art. That's what I really wanted to do it in, but I only had 5 yards, and I don't think that's going to be enough. This is a 32 count fabric. So it's fairly large. Let me get the first one you get this, and there's more directions, but it tells you the stitch count. Like I'm doing it on 32, so it says on 16 count Ada, which is the same as 32 count over 2. It's going to be 10.5 by 14 inches, the entire design. So this was the first section I got. They're all kind of mixed up now because I've been working on it. See if I can find out. So this is like the first page I'm working on. So this was the first page I got. And she also sent a lot of other directions and stuff with it. So your first packet was pretty big. And then you started getting, like the next week, we got this section with the witch and the glass, the crystal ball. And then there was this one. I love this. It's got like a little Halloweeny sampler. So it's a sampler within a sampler. And then this is the bottom of that section. And it's really pretty when people do it in a lot of different colors. And I love this. This is a ghost, and you can see he's in a hoop. And then these fancy bottles, I don't know if you can see those, with the poison. And then here's the last section, I think. I think that's the last, maybe. Anyway, I love it. It just has so much detail. I mean, it's intense, and that's why I only have this much done, because there's a lot of little curly cues and stuff in there. It's fun though, but you really have to like pay attention and look at it, because you don't want to get off, because it will throw everything off. Most people did like the whole outside, but like I said, I didn't know if I was going to have enough. I think I will. I'm not sure. I don't think anywhere in there, and it all depends on what thread you're using and all that. But I had this. This is Victorian Motto Sampler Shop over dyed floss. This is burgundy ribbons. This is what I'm using. And when I first started looking at it, and I brought it to a stitching thing so other people could look at it. And when you just put this on it, you go, that doesn't look good. But when you pull out one strand and stitch with it, it kind of brings it looks more purple, and it brings out colors. And I just I love how everybody's is different. There's one person that's doing it on an orange linen and it's gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And then, like I said, there's other people, they're doing it in all different colors and it's gorgeous, but I didn't want to have to think about it. I like having, I have other things I'm thinking about. So I didn't want to have to think too hard about what color I was going to use for what or pulling a bunch of colors. So I have provided a link in, like I said, below the description and all that. There's a link to this pattern. She has wonderful, if you like black work, she has beautiful patterns. And like I said, this does not have to be reversible. This is, you can do it all in back stitch. Some of mine is black work. Most of it is kind of back stitch. If I have to go up and come back down to fill in an area, I do it in double running, which is reversible, but most of it is not reversible. And you can see the back of mine. It's not reversible. It's a little messy, but not too bad. So if you want to, this is pretty major. I mean, this is not for a beginner, but she has a lot of other wonderful patterns. I think her name is Claire Bradshaw. And she has wonderful Christmas ones, Christmas stitch alongs, where I think there's one that had a reindeer head with the antlers, and then it had Christmas ornaments hanging off. And I've bought a few of hers before just because they're so detailed and amazing. But I wanted to share that with you just because that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And then now I wanted to talk about my next thing. Last time I mentioned some cute little buttons I had ordered. Well, they finally came. It took longer than expected because of then it was Helene. The mail was kind of slowed down. It kept saying, they'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow. Well, whatever. I got them. So I'm happy. I finally got them. So I was just going to show you some of these. I'm still working on the pattern because I had it kind of laid out, and this is what happens. I don't know if it does to other designers, but I would assume it does. You kind of lay it out, and it's not going to be like a framed piece. This is going to be three-dimensional in some way. So I had it all figured out and all laid out, and the pattern kind of pulled together roughly. I think I showed you some of it last time, but when I was up talking to Sue, and I showed it the mock-up to her, the program I use for my designing, you can make it look like it's stitches. So you can kind of visualize what it's going to look like. And she really liked it. And I had sent her pictures of the buttons and she just loved them. So anyway, but now I was talking to her and looking at other stuff online and going, maybe I want to do something different. So I need to make up my mind. I don't have all the threads yet. I have the fabric figured out. It's going to be on a 28 count just to make it easy. It's going to be a teaching piece. And that it'll have a lot of multi-layered stitches. So I want it a little bit bigger so it doesn't get real bulky and stuff. And I'm going to use probably lamb's wool, linen, which is fairly stiff. And for what I'm making, you kind of want that. So anyway, I'm not going to show you the design because it's not done yet. But I wanted to show you these buttons just because they're so stinking cute. I've been looking and looking and looking. I said that online. I'm unwrapping them because they're all wrapped up in tissue paper. I ordered a bunch of them because I want a variety. Let me show you a couple of them. They are little. These have shanks, and I may try and see if I can get them without shanks. Aren't those cute? Oh my God. And then this is a teenier one. It's kind of hard to hold them. This is a teenier one. Look at that face. And this woman hand paints these. And she said she could make them in any colors I wanted, any way, their faces any way I wanted. This is another little one. But I may talk to her about making them without the shank, maybe with holes, but I don't want the holes in the face. So that's something, I'm going to have to work out. And this is a different variety because I can't decide what I want. So look at her face. So I ordered, like I said, I ordered a bunch of them. And this one does have the holes in it, so it can be stitched down. But aren't those cute? Oh my God. She said she can make the hair any colors I want because I told her I was going to order a bunch of them. So she's giving me bulk pricing, because each one is going to have at least three of these on it. And then I bought some other little ones too. And I got this just because it's so stinking cute. I don't know, it's a shank button. Um, I may knock the shank off of it and make it into a needle minder. But isn't that cute? I just love it. And I can order them without the shanks because she hand makes these. She fires them, she pan paints them. These are porcelain. And oh my God, they looked really cute online, but when you see them in person, they're so much cuter. Look at those little faces. You just want to like grab their cheeks, because they're so cute. But do I have one more here? Oh yeah, these are also some more. Um, these are tinier ones, but I think they're going to be too small. But these are all the same. I got three of this same one, but I'm just really, really excited. As you can see, I love stuff like this. I love buttons. I love adding things to my pieces, and this is really going to make this. I think it's really going to make the whole project special. Having these wonderful buttons along with all the fun stitches and everything that goes with it. It'll probably be a 2-day class. I'm trying to add as many fun stitches that work for this project. I'm just trying to add as many as I can because um, I love stitches, obviously, because I have one pattern that's 365 different stitches, stitch a day. So again, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to do it in sulky thread. I love sulky because you only need one strand and they have beautiful colors. They have what they call blendables, which is kind of like over dyed, but more even. And then they have solid colors, and I just love them so much. And they're easy to use. Like I said, you don't have to um, use two strands. They come on a spool, so it's just easier to use. So that's something I'm thinking of. So I just got another invitation to send out some class proposals. So I'm sending out proposals now for 2025 and 2026. People are requesting for upcoming seminars and things. I actually already have a class is scheduled right now for February, March, and April. So the rest of, the year's filling up. So if you're interested, be sure and contact me. And on that note, I want to start showing, oh wait, let me go back 1 second. And I showed you this, I think last time. It's hard to see, but these are some of the stitches I'm working on for this project. I wanted to try them on some sample fabric. It's hard to see, but this is using the sulky thread, and this is a 28 count scrap that I had. I just wanted to try them because sometimes they look really good on paper or in the program, but when you try and work them, they don't work. And I found one stitch uh, that I'd never seen work before. It's actually two stitches combined, so I'm really excited about that. So that will be fun. Now back to what I originally started going to here. I thought I would start showing you some of my teaching pieces because I am scheduling for the next couple of years. So if you know of any seminars or if any group you're in is interested in having me come teach, I would love to do that. Um, so my email is in the bottom under the description. It's Dawn at morninggloryneedleworks.com. But it is written out, so you can just click on it and send me an email. Um, and I prefer to teach in person just because I love to travel and it's easier to teach in person. If somebody's having a problem, I can actually come over and work with them. But I do teach over Zoom, as with many of us. We got good at teaching over Zoom during the pandemic. I've taught a 3-day seminar over Zoom. I've taught 2-day classes. I'm in Florida. I taught people in California. You know, it's just easier to teach over Zoom and the expenses are less for you. And I can just be at home in my own bed and I don't have to board all my kitties and that kind of stuff too. But I do love to travel. But I wanted to show you, this was one of the first pieces when I got back into it. I taught this for Stitcher's Hideaway, probably around 2009, I think. This is dated 2000. No, this is 2006. So it's probably, so I met Sue before that. So that's how long I've known her. But so I think I taught this for them around 2008, maybe 2009. I don't know. But this was my first big teaching piece. This is a 2-day class. This is Alphabet of Stitches. And you can, I love my stitches. So what this is every letter of the alphabet has a stitch starting with that letter. So A is Algerian eyelet, B is blackwork, C is canvas lace, which is one of my favorites again, diamond eyelet. I'm trying to read these in reverse on the screen. This is eyelet stitch, Florentine for F, guilloche stitch, which is a fun stitch. It's very different. Herringbone. We've got interlaced cross, Jessica, knitting and leaf stitch, uh, marking stitch, and Norwich stitch, oblong cross and pinwheel, queen and Rhodes down here, Sprat's head and tied windmill. Those are here. This is upright cross and Van Dyke stitch, wheat, and X stitch. Sorry, I could not find any stitches that start with X. So all of these, if I have an alphabet one, they always have X stitch. And then that's where you put your year. And then I did marking stitch on this one where you put your initials. So that's that. And then there's Yugoslav stitch. This is a variation. There's a lot of different Yugoslav. And then this is a zigzag. And this is done on 32 count with, I think these are Gentle Arts, the Gentle Arts thread, over dyed thread. So, but I'm actually going to be teaching this in February here in Florida. But it's a fun stitch. Everybody loves it. This one does have some pre-work and it's simple pre-work. All you have to do is put basting lines in. There's like 3 basting lines all the way down, and then all of them across in between each stitch. And believe me, you need those. I did not do those when I did this. And of course, I have a mistake in here. I don't remember where it's at, but I know something in here is off because it was too hard to count. And in class, it's so much easier because the way I teach it is it's just like, oh, from the top left corner, count down 10 threads and to the left 5 threads or 15 threads or whatever it is. So that way with that basting in there, it helps you get the exact placement of where you need to start. And if you don't have the basting, you're on your own trying to count how to get to the next stitch. And that way also, because I don't always I go over all the stitches, but you don't always work on them in class, like cross stitch, you know, we don't need to show you how to cross stitch at that point, but some of them I just talk about. And so you can actually skip that rectangle. So anyway, but I wanted to show you, this is Alphabet of Stitches. I have a companion piece to this, which I just brought out a few years ago, and it's um, Alphabet of Stitches Redux. So it's the same general principle, and it's all different stitches, and it has a different alphabet and different colors. That's actually done in sulky threads. Sulkies were not available when I designed this back in 2005, 2006. So this is um, all different, it's fun. It's a lot of different colors, 26 different stitches. The names of the stitches are stitched over one thread with one strand, but this is cross stitch with this is from a old Dutch sampler book that I have. It's called Antique Dutch Samplers, I think. But anyway, so that's one of my teaching pieces. So I'm hoping if you're interested, like I said, contact me. I don't want to drop that. I'm very excited. I'm ready to get out there again and start teaching. I've had a lot going on. You've kind of gone through, if you've watched all my videos, you've gone through the last like 3 or 4 years with me, and it's been rough. And like I said, this hurricane for me personally, compared to a lot of other stuff I've been through, was not that bad. It wasn't fun, and I didn't want to leave, but I did, and I'm okay. But I feel bad for other people. But so after all that, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my big long hurricane stories. There was a lot more, but I'm not going to go into everything. But I am so glad that I have wonderful friends that will take me and my 3 cats in. I don't know if she would have taken in all 5 of them, but she did take, when I used to have 5. But they did really well. They did really well there. So anyway, that's it for FlossTube 68. As always, thank you. I so much appreciate that you guys take time out of your day to watch me, and everybody who's liked, subscribed, comments. Um, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified. Usually my videos come out on the 1st, and on the 1st I do a new stitch of the month on the 1st of every month, and then on the 15th usually. But during a hurricane, you do it when you can. So don't forget to share any of your photos in the Stitch of the Month Club, this any on the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page. Please share your photos. I would love to see them. I've been seeing some of the Star Spangled Sampler come up on people's timelines, and I've been tagged in it where they entered it in something and won ribbons on it, or even just seeing them finished, even if they didn't win ribbons. I love seeing that. That makes me feel good that people are actually stitching my pieces and finishing them. So let me know any stitches you're having problems with or would like to learn, and maybe we can work it out together. I'll be starting to show some of my antique sewing items again. I'm trying to like mix it up a little bit. And again, like I said before, all the links are posted under the description. You got to hit more or whatever to be able to see everything. And then down at the bottom, I did put a link to the steady thread to the Halloween stitch along. And so go there and look at it, and then go and look at everything she has, because it's wonderful. And us designers need to support each other because she has wonderful patterns. So again, thank you so much. I am so glad to be home and sleeping in my own bed with my own kitties. So I will see you on the 1st of November. Holy cow. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.